I'm probably more likely to fall in love with the enemy than actually want to kill the enemy. I read way too much dark romance.
My problem with this is why are they not taking the YNs? You feel me? The young that just like to shoot things and play games all day and smoke.
I ran. I can barely walk. Okay, but like, where do we plug in our chargers?
Welcome back to the channel. Every day we break down the viral TikToks that's talking about World War III. Also, we're diving deep into all the theories spreading across the internet talking about the big three. I'm JT, your host, but don't worry about me. Let's get right into it.
Trump just recently said to the press that a draft is on the table. It's a possibility, right? Historically, with drafts from any country, people have tried to resist. There were a total of like 15,000 draft dodgers in World War II. You had draft riots within the Civil War, and the only shit that worked was being what they called at the time a conscientious objector. You had to have a firm and fixed objection to any participation within war. It had to be by way of your religion, your belief system, or your training. Now, obviously, a lot of people larped Christianity or, something like that and said, hey, this is just against my morals. There's actually 12,000 people that were able to avoid this by doing civilian public service. So they basically took those conscientious objectors and put them into CPS as an alternative. They dispersed amongst about 152 camps across the United States. Now, the ones that refused obviously were sent to jail, but they were later pardoned 30 years later by Jimmy Carter. But also, people that operated a farm didn't have to go. This is mainly because the U.S. obviously needs food for the war. There were even some people at around that time period that bought farms just to avoid the draft. Now, I've been seeing a lot of people modern day say they're just going to try to LARP a mental disability. But I think the first course of action, whenever a draft comes up, is protesting before you start acting like, you have a mental disability.
I didn't want to tell you guys like this, but I heard they're drafting for the war again. I'm trans probably. I'm trans and gay, I think. I know I am trans and gay. I have flat feet and I have voices in my head and I'm slightly autistic.
If you are 18 to 25, you are cooked. You going to World War III. If you are 26 to 39, you are still cooked because the age cap's at 39. You going to World War III. If you have ADHD, you are cooked. You are going to World War III. If you have diabetes, congratulations, you ain't going to World War III. If you've ever been put in a mental facility, congratulations, you are not going to World War III. If you are in college, I'm sorry, you are cooked. They actually want you more for the draft because they want to put you in a specialized position. You are going to World War III. If you have a master's degree, you are cooked. If you dropped out of high school, you are safe from World War III. They don't want you. If you are a felon, you are not going to World War III. Now is the best time to be a felon. If you are LGBTQ, I'm sorry, you are cooked. You are still going to World War III. Now, if you're transitioning, you are safe. You are not going to World War III. If you are your only mother's son, I am sorry, you are cooked. You are going to World War III. If you are a woman, you are only half cooked because men are required to go first, but at any time, Congress can change legislation if they need more people. If you have kids, you are going to World War III. But if you're actively pregnant, you are not going to World War III. If you have major depressive disorder or severe anxiety, you got to be able to prove, it got to be documented, or you are cooked. If it's not documented, you going to World War III. Like and comment for part 2.
If the draft comes, I wonder how many people going to try to intentionally get diabetes. If that's the thing, like, can you intentionally get diabetes? I don't know. Let me know in the comments.
This is my formal rejection to the World War III draft. 1, I already want to kill myself. I'm more likely to walk in front of a bull. I'm fighting my demons already and I'm losing. 2, I'm on so much antidepressants. If I go into war and I don't have them, I will be myself. It's pointless to even send me out. 3, can't send me somewhere that doesn't have Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin' and you're gonna send me somewhere that doesn't have one? 4, I already don't think I can handle MRE. I heard that it makes you shit your brains out and I already have tummy issues. If there were to be a draft, what am I gonna do? Put a PureWick in them? ED, med-surg, and psych nurses, we got it covered. But if we're already unstable, how long do you think we're gonna actually last? I'm probably more likely to fall in love with the enemy than actually want to kill the enemy. I read way too much dark romance. I'm gonna willingly be taken hostage just so I can get the fuck out of the US. And I have no issue with spoiling government secrets. I can't do a push-up. What do you want me to do? You want me to hold a fucking big ass? I can't even do jumping jacks without being out of breath. And you expect me to carry a big ass backpack and a... Sorry, babe. I reject your offer.
Well, breaking fuck the news and fuck all of us, I guess, because it looks like the U.S. military draft is now talking about 18 through the ages of 39. Bruh, I'm 30. On top of that, I'm diagnosed with schizophrenia, and I've been since the age of 16. Am I even useful for this? However, though, the only thing I can see is, like, unless you got bone spurs, you're going. Bro, I'm not about to fucking die for this billionaire, bro. Fuck y'all.
All getting drafted to World War III very, very soon. Yes, you and me, everybody that's over the age of 18 will be drafted to World War III. Especially if you're in college or if you only just graduated high school, best believe you're the main one to get chosen. My problem with this is why are they not taking the YNs? You feel me? The young niggas that just like to shoot things and play games all day and smoke. Why not take them? Just let them die first. Why just let our lives go to complete waste? Or let the older niggas go. They don't even have much time left. Look, just don't choose me, bruh. Please.
I can't put this helmet on, it's gonna mess up my hair. I ran. I can barely walk. Okay, but like, where do we plug in our chargers? My phone's on 3% and I literally can't fight like this. What do you mean this tank doesn't have Bluetooth? Whatever, just pass the aux cord. I literally have anxiety. You can't scream at me like that. So I don't get weekends off? I didn't realize this whole war thing was like full time. I have therapy and a facial appointment on Saturday. Alexa, tell Iran to stop.
Okay, Iran, stop.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I can talk. Yeah, this place doesn't even have a Starbucks. Hey everyone, I'm live here in the trenches. The vibes are like way off. If I don't make it out, just tell everyone I was kind of iconic.
He not lying. Back in the Afghanistan days, soldiers were writing letters from home. Gen Z gonna be like, hold on, can I FaceTime? Also, back then, people said, I'm going to serve my country. Now, Gen Z be like, can I work remotely?
If they came out with the draft and said, you have to go fight in the military for 4 years or go to prison for 4 years, I'm going to prison for 4 years, my nigga. With a smile on my face. You got me fucked up. What the fuck? Send me to prison for 4 years. I'm doing my time with a smile on my face, nigga. I'm not finna die overseas. In Iran? What the fuck?
Y'all doing the 4 years or going to war? Let me know.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is Iran and motherfucking the USA motherfucking military, this thing got shit to do with me. This is y'all beef, bruh. I ain't participate in none of this. So y'all better not come to my door trying to draft me and shit. What on that dead homie? You come to my door, knocking on that bitch, and I open it. You talking about something? Sir, you been drafted. I'm saying, I don't hear speak English no more, nigga. Sir, how old is you? I don't hear no how to speak no more, nigga. You don't want me on no more. Not me.
You will be the soldiers of World War III. I'm talking to everyone in a NATO country between the ages of 18 and 26 years old. Listen closely. Share this with everyone because this isn't hypothetical anymore. This is where we are headed. Right now, Russia has officially abandoned all peace talks and declared the total destruction of Ukraine as its goal. NATO is mobilizing, the U.S. is deploying assets in Europe, marking the most comprehensive defense posture since the Cold War. And tensions, they're stretching thinner by the hour. You think you'll have a choice? Think again. The moment Article 5 is triggered, everything changes. There will be a draft, and this time, they're not going to ask. And here's the real truth as to why. America isn't ready. Europe isn't ready. If this escalates, survival won't just mean avoiding the front lines. It'll mean enduring chaos here at home. Economic collapse, civil unrest, supply chain failure. Because when the system breaks, and it will, war becomes local. And as a father, I will say this plainly. I will not let my sons die in a war built by the mistakes of men in suits.
Do y'all think America will have a civil war over this draft, or people just going to let their kids go? Because honestly, if they draft my 18-year-old sons, I'm going to encourage them to go because it's going to be a lot funner and maybe safer than jail would be. But hey, I know it'll at least be a lot funner at times.
I need y'all to stop and really pay attention to what's going on over there in the Middle East. Because one thing they talked about was the draft. And they didn't exclude the draft. So let's say the tension between the US, Israel, and Iran start escalating to a point where it's no return. And you got other countries getting into the fold. They get so bad that they be like, hey, we're gonna need more people to come join this war. So we're gonna start the draft. Are you gonna be one of them people that's gonna go? Because I'm not going, fool. You gonna have to lock me up. Simple. But I know it's a lot of people out here that be banging that, yeah, we ready for war. Hey, send they ass. I never said I'm ready for shit. I'm ready here. If it happens here, I'm prepared. But I'm not trying to go over there and fight on war. So let me know down below in the comments. If they come knocking at your door and they tell you you got 10 minutes to go kiss your mom, your dad, or whoever, say bye. Are you gonna go, or are you gonna tell them arrest me?
Americans now is waking up and realizing that they about to fight the Israel war. Of course. Why you think he says we have a strong military? He's drafting. Some of you are going to start getting them letters in the mail. You don't have to go to college. A lot of y'all won't have to go to college. You will be drafted into the war and get ready to fight. That's why there's no jobs in the economy. You don't have nothing else to do. So let's put them in the war. Let's get them ready to fight. So when you see the video of the guy who was saying, I'm not fighting the war for Israel, y'all don't have no choice. A lot of y'all young motherfuckers, YNs, are about to get drafted to fight this war. 18 to what? 28? The young ones, you are about to get drafted and fight this war for America. As the economy continue to skyrocket and collapse, y'all have nothing else to do. Draft them to the war. We need more people.
Okay, hear me out. Hypothetically speaking, if we enacted the draft tomorrow, who do you think should be drafted? Men and women, nobody at all, or veterans that have served in the past 8 years? I'm just curious on what you think. World War III, draft, whatever the case might be, the last time that we did this was in 1973 during the Vietnam War. Now, it's still available by Congress, it's just never been put in place. Comment down below, let me know what you think.
Out there are worried that we're going to have a draft, that they're going to see their sons get in and daughters get involved in this. What do you want to say about the president's plans for troops on the ground? As we know, it's been largely an air campaign up until now.
It has been, and it will continue to be, and President Trump wisely does not remove options off of the table. I know a lot of politicians like to do that quickly, but the president, as commander-in-chief, wants to continue to assess the success of this military operation. It's not part of the current plan right now, but the president, again, wisely keeps his options on the table.
Of course, he's going to keep the options on the table. You have to be Joe Biden to take them off the table, honestly. I mean, we're going into situations now where we're bombing places. I don't think things will get better before it gets a lot worse, so who knows? There might actually be a draft coming sooner than later.
Hey everyone, I have a very big update about what is happening in Iran. The situation is getting crazier, and it looks like it's actually escalating. Now, remember I said there's a huge power shift that's happening in the world right now. Well, the intel that I've gotten and that my team has gotten is showing that other countries are about to get involved with this Iran war. We have China wanting to supply missiles and supply protection for Iran. We have Russia that's saying that they're about to have to get involved to support Iran. And I said that we are on a tinderbox that could light any minute, and it could become World War III. Well, when you see situations like this, it makes you see just how that is possible. How we go from Iran getting attacked by just the US and Israel to now Iran has China, Iran has Russia as their allies fighting against the US and Israel. So Iran's leadership, they're darn near taken out. They have a temporary president right now making statements, issuing apologies, but the attacks are still ongoing. Stay tuned, I have a major update coming out tonight after this team meeting.
Pay attention and listen, because Iran just released a new video of one of their underground missile sites, and it looks untouched. Look.
you enjoyed the content, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to stay up to date. And while you're at it, go ahead and gently smash that like button. Shout out to all the creators. And until next time, peace.